Welcome to Dadmode, a podcast that is the triforce of gaming, streaming, and dad life in general.
This Dadmode is all about gaming and parenting and stuff like that. Well, why don't we kind of combine this? So, have you played a lot of games with the kids? I know your kids game, but have you played a lot with them?
I dip my toes in the water every so often. Like I rehash the subject in the house is the best way to do it. Like I get frustrated. My son and I tried battle royales a few times, and we have totally two different play styles. I'm very being from that competitive FPS background, aware of cues and how to move through different situations, being a Tarkov player in the last few years. So I'm there trying to do the right thing. I'm like, okay, I got to, we can't loot. There's players here. We need to focus, eliminate the threat. We can move forward with this. And then my son's out doing the most craziest thing, making the most noise, drawing the most attention. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you can't do this to me. What are you doing? It's hit and miss. It's very hit and miss.
I hate gaming with my kids. I'll just put it out there. It's. I mean, I have probably similar experiences to what you're saying, and it makes it less fun. Like a lot of websites or things are readable, like bonding time and all this stuff. And yes, I love gaming. My kids love gaming, but like I don't know if it's the competitive nature or if like Beard was saying, they just don't do things the way that I think they should be done in the game. It aggravates me to the point where I'm not having fun. That's not good.
I have better teammates online than I do in the house is the best way I put it. Like, some mates of mine actually know how we play. We play in a more cooperative situation than what I do with my own children. But my son started Starfield last week.
Oh.
And I thought, okay. I thought I'd hype him into it and see if he wanted to get involved. He played a few hours of it, but I didn't. I just popped my head in for that. I didn't, every so often just walk past, pop my head in. How's the game going? Tell me what's happening in it. Do you enjoy it? And that. Go away. Later on, I came back and he's been playing Sea of Thieves with. He's got a whole group of friends that play Sea of Thieves now. Apparently, we were talking about online multiplayer a while ago. I didn't know he was really into Sea of Thieves until last weekend. So I open up the door and then next thing you know, there's a boat on fire and he's screaming at his friends like, we're all on fire. We got to get out of this boat or something. That's how he is with multiplayer and me. It's the best way to put it. Chaos ensues.
I'm not saying this, but you should bribe our friend Average Gamer to go sink his ship.
Good. The pirate of the seas.
So my kids haven't got into a lot of the online games yet, and fortunately we don't have a ton of co-op gaming opportunities with the Xbox. Like at least there's not a lot of games that. This is kind of a different topic, but
it takes two.
That there's not a lot of games that I like to play co-op that my wife will let my kids play with me because of the content.
Yeah.
But that said, it still drives me nuts. Like I think I was telling you this before the show. One of the things that my older son has a tendency to do is when he's fighting, any fight, boss fight, mob, trash, whatever it is, if a piece of loot drops, he goes and gets that piece of loot and looks at it and decides if he wants to use it, while the rest of us are like, hey, we're fighting over here. It's just, oh my God.
I was just thinking of a game for a suggestion. For kids, golf with friends. That's a really good one. I did it with the family a few months ago.
What is it?
Golf with friends. It's mini golf. It's mini golf. So it's all mini golf. You don't have a player. You just have the ball, and like you draw the line, shoot the ball, and that. But it's take turns, obviously. But you can do that. Co-op with family. I've done that even with my wife. She doesn't mind that game, so we might play Golf with Friends, and it's on Game Pass.
Oh, that might be one we try.
Yeah.
It
And
can't
just a
be worse than
suggestion. I
we.
was just thinking it's something that actually worked in my house. Was too bad was Golf with Friends for a while.
It can't be worse than when we actually go play mini golf, and my
Oh,
son and I, he's cut from the same cloth. I am so competitive, and so isn't he. He literally will
yes.
throw his club when it's not working right
Yes.
for him.
Yeah. Yeah. But we don't actually do that in real life. We don't touch grass as a family play mini golf. For those exact reasons. There's frustration and arguments. It's not an enjoyable family day out. Really. Everyone just goes home pissed off at each other.
Yeah.
We're like the Simpsons when they go to get the help and they got the bats in Dr. Monroe's office and they just sit there bashing each other. That's zapping each other. That's us.
It's like when I'm doing any kind of activity outside with my son, throwing frisbee, throwing a baseball, whatever, or throwing a football around. It's just a game of toss, but then it just gets serious, and he wants to win, even though it's like, but how can you? We're just throwing the frisbee back and forth or whatever.
Yeah.
And
there's no competition here.
Yeah, but it turns into a competition because I'm starting to mentally keep track of how many I caught versus how many he caught. He's doing the same thing, and it just turns ugly every time. And like we talked about on a previous episode, he gets mad. My wife's like, "Why don't you let him win?" I'm like, "Let him win. He can win when he can win."
Yeah,
you know, there's no participation trophies here, bud.
That's why my kids don't play Mario Kart with me. Like we did Mario Kart for a while, and there was like, you know, I'm old. I know how to play this game, kids. You're not getting a win. I don't care how much there is computer aid to help you try and win. I know how to combat this shit. Like you are going last every single time. Like I ruled my kids through Mario Kart. It's probably why they don't play that game with me anymore. I've scarred them for life on an enjoyable pastime, really.
Yeah. I don't know. It's frustrating.
One thing that actually got my kids into gaming for a while there, and it was like a family bonding thing, was VR. I had the PlayStation VR, and the kids didn't mind taking turns doing like Beat Saber. We'd all sit around the couch. One person would be up, and then you got the big screen. Everyone can see what they're doing. Take turns doing Beat Saber, or Job Simulator was another one that the kids really enjoyed too. They all got to take their 15 minutes at a time. I think it was 10 minutes at a time or something, picking their job and then doing that. You know, everyone would sit down and laugh at what that person, oh, look, he ate poison food and now he's vomiting in the game, or, you know, oh, he's thrown a book at a computer across the room. Like everyone thought it was funny. Yeah, I reckon VR, and it probably, I think back, probably was pushing the grounds. I don't know. There's an age limit to when kids can do VR or whatever they say can damage their brains or something. But they were younger then. I'd say, you know, 12, 9, 8, 7 or something. Like I think their ages were back then when they did it. But it was enjoyable. They had fun. Every so often, one of the middle child asked me, she goes, after school, she goes, hey, can I go play Beat Saber in the garage? So I just, here you go, put that on her head. Off you go, and just let her do that. But that worked as a family game.
That's cool.
I think my wife played it too for a little bit. You like Beat Saber?
My wife is not a gamer really at all. Like I said, I think I mentioned before that she'll play on the Switch every now and then, but mainly Animal Crossing. Like it's just not her thing.
I could not get her into Animal Crossing.
Before we had kids, I was huge into WoW, like obsessed with it to the point where she's like, well, if that's where he is, I might as well learn how to play World of Warcraft as well. And after like 20, 30 levels, she's like, this is stupid. I'm not playing anymore.
I don't get it.
And that, the only good thing about that was like, she'd be questing and some high level horde would come kill her. And then I'm like, did you just kill my wife? And I'm logging out of my character now, bud.
Yeah. I'm logging back into this round. We're going down.
Yeah. But that was about it.
My wife didn't mind Beat Saber and Golf with Friends. I've tried the gaming multiple times. with her. We had a little run there of some like co-op, move it out and that, just her and I, occasional games. One that almost broke our marriage was Snippet Clips. Don't fucking put that on your Switch.
What is it?
Snippet Clips, I think it's called.
Huh.
It's a puzzle game where you're a shape,
Yeah.
but you can cut each other out. So you can tilt on an angle onto her, and then it'll cut like a shape. So you might need to roll a ball down a thing. So you stand here, I'll cut the right shape out of you. You cut the right shape out of me. It's co-op, communication, puzzle, deep puzzle games. It's frustrating because I'm like, I know what you need to do. Just stand fucking still. Cut. Give me the controller. I'll do that my end, and I do that one, and then give it back. Like it was, yeah.
So you're saying you want me to communicate and cooperate with my wife in a game?
No, you can't. That's why I said don't ever.
Yeah,
don't ever play that.
That won't.
It was the first game that I tried introducing her to for video games. It was like the worst possible.
Yeah, that won't work. I kind of like I'd like to play I played A Way Out once with my buddy Guido. And the first game I played like that, where it's like, you know, you're playing side by side, but like it's split screen sometimes.
Yes.
And sometimes, you know, it's a fantastic game. That would be interesting to play with my wife.
Well, that's why I do It Takes Two. Not It Takes Two.
She wouldn't like it. It was too violent for her, probably.
No. It's not It Takes Two. There is a parenting game about parents actually having to work together. Yeah, It Takes Two is the game.
Oh,
it's a journey, a weird journey. Apparently, it's about a couple who I believe are getting divorced or something, but the kids put them into dolls, so they're like miniature versions. So the husband and wife have to work together to get bigger again, but it's getting through Honey, I Shrunk the Kids type of life thing. It's a big thing. A lot of people play it together with their partners. I don't think I would.
You're losing me at the cooperation part in the
there's a lot. It's like you hold that, I'll jump on this. Yeah, push the button while I do this, and I'll push this while you do that. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
that's
and it would just
work.
be like, I thought you were gonna hold the button. You know, it'll be a lot of that. You know,
fucking controllers down. I'm off. The room's getting slammed. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
What do you want for dinner? Get your own fucking dinner.
Yeah. And you know, then you're getting divorced. And the judge is like, "What happened? We played It Takes Two. Oh, jeez, another one.
Another one of them.
Yeah. So I'm starting to think that my problem with gaming with my family, whether it's my wife, my kids, or both, is maybe my anger.
Yeah, but
maybe.
I think it's just finding the right game to suit everyone. That's why I told you that golfing with friends, like you can't go wrong with it. Everyone kind of likes mini golf, and it's time based. So the turns, they've only got, you know, so much time to take their shot, so you're not going to have the problem with them fucking around the whole time where you're sitting there going, just give me the fucking controller, just hurry up and take your shot. If they don't take their shot, they miss out, basically. Like it puts everything in place where it keeps moving the game along fine.
Yeah.
And it's not cooperative.
Yeah. Is it hard to mess up?
No.
Or is it, okay. Yeah. So my older son, I mentioned he's competitive. He's also a perfectionist. So he'll get these mini fits of rage every time something doesn't go exactly right.
That's where the whole family laughs at him for hitting the ball off course into the water. Just like real life.
Yeah. That's why gaming really, for me, this is another topic idea that we were going over, is it's a stress relief and get away from it all. Like I would need a month of gaming after a single family gaming night, a solo gaming, to like recover from that.
Yeah. You could even go digital Monopoly. I mean, Monopoly breaks up families on the best of the ways, but it's a good introduction to gaming. You know, a whole family game night. Why set up the board game when you can sit around the TV you could do it that way. Like digital Monopoly is pretty fun. You can't cheat.
Yeah, I'm ruthless at Monopoly. My
Same.
goal is to break you.
Yeah,
So
you are all gone bankrupt, children.
yeah.
Like my chance to get back all the pocket money I've given out over the years.
Right. You know, I'm thinking back over a conversation we've had over the last 15 minutes or so here, and I'm realizing that there's some people listening to this who are like, I thought you were going to give ideas on how to bond and give helpful tips to your
Give
kids.
us the ideas.
No, that's a different show. This is where we tell you really what it's like parenting and raising kids and bonding. No, we're keeping it real here. There's none of that like good housekeeping bullshit on this show. So.
I've had good moments playing games co-op. It's just few and far between. You know, there's 30 odd years between kids and I. It's a totally different game sense, different experience levels. I think if you were someone who hadn't been gaming for as long or relatively new to gaming and your kids were into gaming and then you were wanting to join in with the kids, it's a great experience. Like you probably enjoy the hell out of it. If you're new to gaming, by all means, try it. It's and both of us, our comments are more around someone who's done it their whole life and that's their thing. It's a bit harder the opposite way, and you can still have fun. Like my son and I, we've frustrated as it is to play games with him. We have had good games. Like he's getting better.
Yeah,
that's the way to put it.
You know, and I will say I'll kind of put an addendum to what I said. Bearded and I are both, we're gamers for lifelong gamers. We're both fairly competitive in that regards because we played these games forever, and you know, I would imagine that our personalities rub off on our kids a little bit to some extent. So maybe they're a little competitive. Maybe I'm just speaking for me now. But and I think that when you have people who take things seriously, even though people it's just a game, but I don't know, if you're a gamer, you know it's not always just a game.
No,
like it's hard to do something. It's like playing the golf, something like that, where there's not a lot of stakes involved. That's probably a good choice.
It's a safe bet.
Know, if you're a gaming family. Yeah. But if you like you said, he was playing Fortnite with his kid. Fortnite, it looks like a casual kids game, but it's not a casual kids game.
No,
you know, so you know that's maybe not the kind of game to play unless you and your kids are like bonded tight, like you're a team. You know, if that's the way it is, cool. But if it's not like that, pick a different game.
Rocket League also falls into Fortnite. Just in case you don't know what Rocket League is, that would fall exactly into Fortnite. It's a kids. It's like a kids version of Madden that you don't know that you're getting yourself into. It's a serious sport. So Rocket League, like it's not it's as fun as it looks. I can't play that with my son. I've never played the game, but I've looked at it. I'm like, that's probably something that we shouldn't have.
Yeah, my buddy Sir Win a lot. Huge Rocket League player. I would rage quickly playing that. I'm sure I would.
Take it.
It looks like we're getting a guest.
We got the guest back again.
Yep. Second time on the show. Welcome back.
Yeah, she's happy to be back. She looks grumpy as hell though.
Yeah.
It's a bright light in her face. There you go. A few years off gaming, yeah.
A few years off gaming, but she's gonna learn to rage.
Yeah, she already has the rage down pat.
Nice.
She's happy with that.
She's awake this time.
Oh, wide awake. She slept in this morning with me.
Cool.
So
I got when my oldest was born. They were holding him and I fell asleep because it's like 3 a.m. and I got yelled at.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it was he'd just been born. And I'm holding him on my chest, but I'd been up for like 25 hours or whatever, and I'd fallen asleep, and they're yelling at me, and I'm like, then take the child. Because I can't stay awake anymore. So.
Yeah. That's somehow I don't crush her if I fall asleep with her. I thought I would, but that's not the case.
That would be bad. Your wife would get mad.
Yeah, she would. She would. But no, she'll be the next one that grows up to see probably someone else that I get frustrated with gaming that I don't want to game with.
Yeah. So it's funny, you watch it, like how cute they are, and like I'm thinking back. We always have pictures of our kids when they're younger, and like how cute they are to remind us that we shouldn't kill them because they were once cute.
Exactly. That's why we take photos of them to remind us not to cause self harm to them.
Yeah,
when they frustrate us.
Yeah. Yep. They do. So let's see, about 20 minutes, I think.
I think
maybe
that's
a
a
little
good
bit
one
less
to end up. I think that's a
if
good
we were to
one
cut
end
it.
there. Yeah.
Do we want to close it out somehow?
No, I don't think we need to close that up. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, let's do a recap on it. Oh.
Hey, thanks for, tuning into the podcast today. If you like it, be sure to share it, leave comments, and we'll catch you next time on the Dadmode.